Now let's talk about Pet Peeved, which is episode 82B. And here's our other special guests, Francine and Binky. Hi, guys. Hi there. Hey, how's it going, guys? Pretty good. Yeah, Nemo is doing pretty good, too. That's perfect, Francine, because this episode is all about your pet cat, Nemo. Excellent. I can't wait to hear this. Me neither. Okay then, let's get started. So this episode starts out with me and Dad putting together a boat. I told the viewer to never underestimate the importance of directions. For example, people needed instructions to build the Eiffel Tower, and even repairmen needed to look at the instructions now and then. Back to reality, DW showed the viewers a model plane and a slingshot she made. She shot it and it destroyed the boat. Then after the title card was read, Francine was seen at Buster's house. Then my house. She even appeared outside of Muffy's limousine. You see, she went to all these places because she needed someone to look after Nemo, her pet cat. Except Buster couldn't do it because it would be bad for his asthma. You didn't know I had asthma, did you? I'm sure some people do, since they are huge fans of the show. Oh yeah. Anyway, I couldn't take care of Nemo because it would make Pal feel uncomfortable. And Muffy couldn't do it because her mom just had the couches reupholstered and doesn't want them all ripped up. The scene transitions to Francine telling Nemo that he can't go camping with her, and that she tried to ask everybody to take care of him. Then Binky, Rattles, Molly, and Crusher enter the scene. They made fun of Nemo. I apologized afterwards. That really hurt, Binky. I know that. Anyway, the scene then transitions to Francine pacing and thinking in front of the sugar bowl. She needed someone really tough to watch Nemo. Like Sue Ellen? No, Binky, like you. Oh yeah, I am pretty tough. Uh-huh. Anyway, Francine told Binky that she would pay him $5 a day. That's 10 for the whole weekend. Right. Gee, I wish I was good at math. Anyway, the scene transitions to Francine and Nemo in front of Binky's house. He opened the door. Then Francine showed Binky all the stuff that's needed to take care of Nemo. The scene then transitions to Binky opening the envelope, throwing away the cat care instructions, and taking the $10 bill. Then the scene transitions to Binky and Nemo outside with an obstacle course. Nemo didn't want to try it out, so Binky did. Then the scene transitions to Binky telling Nemo to sit and to fetch. We even had a staring contest. He won. Anyway, Nemo ran up a tree when Rattles and Crusher entered the scene. Rattles wanted Nemo to be Crusher's chew toy. Then the scene transitions to Nemo napping while Binky waited for him to wake up. The scene then transitions to Nemo playing with Binky's shoelaces like yarn. Speaking of yarn, the scene transitions to Nemo playing with a lot of yarn. He and Binky had lots of fun. Then the scene transitions to Binky asleep while Nemo was scratching on the dresser. I told him to stop 3 times. Wow. Anyway, the scene transitions to Binky getting breakfast ready for Nemo. He poured milk in his bowl. When Nemo tried it, he coughed and ran under the table to hide. Binky didn't realize that he was mean to Nemo. He thought Nemo didn't want to go home because Francine had been rotten to him. In the imagination sequence, Francine told Nemo he was supposed to wake her up, he cleaned the floor, and he was tied to a horse-drawn carriage and tried to budge, but wouldn't. Back to reality, Francine was seen walking to Binky's house when Binky hid Nemo in his jacket. Buster and I entered the scene to tell Binky Francine wants Nemo back. Binky walked away meowing. Then the scene transitions to Binky and Nemo in the treehouse. Binky left to get more cat food. An assistant gave him plenty of stuff for cat care. And do you know how much it all cost? $121.46. Wow, that's expensive. Anyway, Binky went back to the treehouse to find Nemo, but Nemo ran off. Rattles, Molly, and Crusher ran after them. Francine wondered where Nemo was. I thought Nemo was going to get hurt. I bet. Anyway, Nemo wasn't afraid. He scratched Crusher's nose, and Crusher ran off. Rattles and Molly ran after him. Francine picked Nemo up, and they walked back to Binky's house. Then the scene transitions to Francine, Binky, and Nemo at Binky's house. Francine noticed that Binky gave Nemo milk to drink, which made him cough and act weird. It was written on the cat care instructions. Don't feed him milk. It sure seemed like the number one rule. Oh, you bet it was. Anyway, the scene transitions to Binky rubbing Nemo's belly and apologizing to him. Then he napped in Francine's arms. And that's how the episode ends. Boy, if Binky hadn't fed Nemo milk. I didn't know. You should have read the instructions. But you still made me keep the job of pet watcher. Okay, guys, let's just say it was just a simple mistake. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, sorry, Francine. No problem. Well, that's Arthur's Pet Business. Now let's talk about each episode as a whole. What did you think of Arthur's Pet Business, Buster? Well, Arthur, I thought this episode was a classic. I mean, seeing all the animals made me feel like I was an animal lover. Even Perky? Well, at first I thought Perky was pretty mean and growly. But when that twist about her being pregnant came, it made me understand. Interesting. What about DW the copycat? What did you think of that? Well, I thought this episode was also a classic, yet annoying at the same time. Really? Why is that? Well, who wants to be watching someone's every single move all the time? A person who wants to be just like him or her? True, but if you want to be like him or her, sometimes you have to ask first, just in case. What about Pet Peeved? What did you think of that? Well, I thought this episode taught me something. Always follow directions. Otherwise, something could go wrong. True. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for today. I would like to thank DW, Francine, and Binky for coming onto our show. I would also like to thank Buster for helping me out with this podcast. Finally, I would like to thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye!